Hey everyone, I'm with Cody and Craig.
Howdy.
Hey. My sidekicks. Howdy.
There we go.
We're at Gratiot River County Park today.
There.
And just looking for rocks like usual. Okay, Cody, what'd you find?
I found what I think is prehnite. Craig disagrees with me, thinks it's datolite, but I think that if it was datolite, it would have weathered away and decayed very easily with the water action. But I think this is a nice little piece of some unusual prehnite.
Put it flat in your palm of your hand so maybe it focus a little better there. There we go. That's a cool looking rock.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I will say that as a geologist, I hate identifying stones that have been washed in the lakes, and you lose a lot of the identifying characteristics. So for me, it's almost guesswork on some of these where you've lost all your crystal shape and everything. It's a little bit tough.
All right, Craig, you're just telling me about the sandstone here. So what are we looking at?
All right, so we got Freda sandstone, and it was laid down just after all the volcanics ended out here. This, I believe, is around 950 million years ago. But what's really pretty about this is all these gorgeous swirling patterns that occur all throughout here. It almost looks like a topographical map in places. That's not a coincidence. All of these lines represent little layers in the sandstone that were built up. They were laid down perfectly flat and built up. And what's happened is that the rock has been eroded away almost in the same way that river valleys and hills are eroded away. And so what you're seeing, each one of these lines is basically an elevation within the sandstone, a different layer. And so what you're seeing is basically a topographical map of this sandstone being exposed here.
Yeah, it's really cool stuff. It's really pretty. And there's a lot of it.
A lot of it. It's gorgeous out here. I love this area.
I've been collecting a few here, just pretty rocks. That piece of unakite on the right there kind of caught my eye. I thought it was something special, but against all this plain red rock, that really stood out. So it's more green on the other side. Pretty stuff. I just picked up this piece of feldspar. I showed it to Craig just to make sure, and I said, "Is this feldspar?" And you said...
I said yes, and it borders on being graphic granite. So graphic granite is a unique kind of granite. I described it as almost looking like Tetris pieces that are all lined up. What you'll have is the quartz in it forming blocks that look like they're almost layered. In a normal granite, you'll get a real shotgun pattern of crystals all throughout it, very random. If you see in this one, it doesn't look random, does it? All the quartz crystals are kind of oriented in this direction as you go down and kind of layered all throughout here. A real nice graphic granite. Can be very expensive, they're very hard to find, and they're beautiful, and it does look like some piece of modern art or a Tetris video game almost, where all the pieces are kind of lined up. This one, I call this a mediocre one, but I would say it qualifies. It's awfully nice.
Okay, you want to buy it?
No, I'll take a pass. Yes. Yeah, so Freda sandstone again here. And what you're seeing, if this looks a little bit like ripple marks, it's not your imagination. So these sandstones were laid down in one of two ways, either by a river or as beach sand. And as most of you probably know, bottom of a river or along the shore, you get lots of ripple marks. Those ripple marks can be preserved basically eternally. This is, remember, a 980 million year old sandstone, and these ripple marks have been sitting out waiting for us. Of course, they've been buried and preserved, but yeah, you're looking at right now the ancient surface of a beach or a river bottom right there.
So with all the rocks looking so red here, other stuff really sticks out. Here's a little piece of unakite, which I don't see very much of here, but I like this one. It's a really pretty rock. What you got there?
So this is a little bit of Thompsonite in here, what we think is probably mesolite, with prehnite in there. You see the tiny little fibers, all these little fibers that are in there. Probably can't see it on the camera too well, but all the fibers radiating outwards from the material. Nice little piece.
So what would it, so I'm getting mixed messages depending on who I talk to. I hear prehnite or prehnite, however you want to say it. Thompsonite. What was that other one you said? Mesolite?
Mesolite, mesolite. What would you say, Craig? Mesolite?
I would call it mesolite, but
Mesolite, yeah.
So studies have shown that this is probably not actual Thompsonite. It's probably a Prenite that has a tiny amount of copper mixed in that's making it pink. But those studies are very old. We're not sure how good they are, frankly. We would like to get them retested.
More of that topography looking stuff. Oh, this has, are those just dry? What's that? Are those inclusions? Is this a...
So I would say that it's probably, because it tends to be on the high points, probably weathering. These darker areas get washed by the water more, and you see how it sloshes around the higher points.
Okay.
So
it's not, it almost looks like a conglomerate.
Almost, but no, it's the exact same material, just a little lighter. And it looks like it's because it gets splashed with a little less water than a lot of this. But
oh, okay.
You know, I'm not 100% sure about that. It's interesting. I've never noticed this until you pointed it out.
No, it's all through here.
Yeah, I don't. Oh yeah. So.
But it does look like the same rock, just a completely different color.
It is, and it tends to be on these high points, and I gotta say, I don't really know why. It could be some sort of concretion going on. It kind of has a concretionary shape, and it doesn't have to be iron concretion. It could be quartz concretion. But I have not broken these apart. I have not noticed them until today, so I can't tell you definitively.
Layer?
I don't think it is, because it goes right down into the lake here, so it should be getting the real weather down there.
Yeah. Another handful of interesting rocks. That one on the right looks like sort of like an Omar, but not quite right. And what'd you say, Craig?
Yeah, I'd say this is sandstone. In fact, this could even be Frida sandstone, not entirely sure. And it looks like maybe a concretion in there. And actually, come to think of it, perhaps this is what we saw earlier with the light color material on top. They could be concretions that are just extra resistant to erosion.
Okay. And then some pretty rocks.
Those are pretty.
Yeah, little stripes on that one you can't really see.
Oh yeah.
Just picked up this that we think is hematite or hematite. I'm still not sure how to pronounce that. I finally switched over to hematite, and these guys are saying hematite. So anyhow, pretty heavy rock. Not that pretty, but kind of interesting. Back it goes.
So this is just a limestone, fossiliferous limestone, with a little bit of a horn coral right there. You can tell from the striations here.
Oh yeah.
Definitely horn coral. This might be favosite, judging from the way that it's crystallized in that structure right there. And that's a brachiopod.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nice little brachiopod cast. Things all over in this.
Yeah, you find stuff like this in like Huron all the time, but it's weird finding it up here.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice one. That's really, really smooth already. That wouldn't take much to tumble. In fact, I might take that one home. That's a pretty one.
Yeah, I would say this is primarily epidote, or I'm sorry, not epidote. I'd say it's primarily Prenite in there.
Not being a geologist, I'd agree. I like it, whatever it is. That's beautiful. Here's a pretty green and white one. Still waiting to find my maize and blue rock. Craig just handed me this little Thompsonite or Prenite or whatever this stuff is, but it's really, really nice.
I think pink Prenite would be the more accepted term at the moment.
Okay. And then Cody is currently licking a rock.
So we got a Prenite up here, and we got a tiny bit of eyes protruding through. I bet if we polish through there, we'd be able to see it more clearly.
Yeah, right around the edge there.
Yep. And they're a little bit under the surface as well. Getting into Yagget territory, almost. Oh!
We're at a spot where you find them that fast. Just while you were talking there, I bent over and picked this guy up. So, pretty bluish rock.
Really nice.
Yeah, not bad.
I just picked up this with some Prenite in it. and Craig at the same time.
Just a gorgeous looking epidote here. It's almost got banding in there.
I like that bluish green up there.
Yeah.
Really nice.
We found these right next to each other pretty much.
Yeah, they're little buddies. Hey.
Hey.
So we're starting to get into the agate territory. This is a piece of rhyolite that tried to agatize. You can see somewhere in here is a little bit of the flow banding, but we also got some partial agatization beneath here. Really, really interesting. Hope to find more of this further down.
Well, that's pretty.
You got a, looks like a rhyolite in here with epidote. Beautiful, like high grade epidote filling in between those veins there.
Well, that's little, but beautiful little agate, huh?
Yeah, don't really see much banding, but I believe it's a fragment of an agate.
Yeah.
Just the chalcedony from the exterior or something.
I think you're right, because that's just glowing.
Yep. You'd confuse it for sea glass, but I can tell from the way that it is drying out and the tiny little fracture points inside it,
yeah,
that it is definitely
that's
chalcedony.
not glass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
What would you call that?
A lot going on there. This is a breccia here. And a breccia is basically a rock that's been ripped up by geologic processes. Very often maybe a fault. And so you get these very jagged, broken pieces in there. You're looking for sharp points like that to call it a breccia. And water flows through it and deposits a lot of minerals in there. So that's all the white you're seeing there.
Right. Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know who started it first, but somebody sat down and started pawing through the rocks here, these little tiny things. And I usually don't use this method. This method kind of drives me crazy. But sitting here, I found a few fun little things. A little piece of blue beach glass, a little piece of Thompsonite prehnite stuff, and a few little agates. Cody just found a nice little agate. Nice little agate with some bands. So it's kind of fun for a few minutes, but I can't sit still this long. Oh, who found that, Cody?
Craig.
That hurt you to say, didn't it?
That's tiny.
Yeah,
but it does have bands all over the place.
It's very porcelainish. Looks that shine on it.
Yeah, that's neat. It's not wet either.
You know what, Rob? Size doesn't matter.
It does. Big agates are better agates.
Oh no! Yeah, we look deep down inside.
Found a little agate chip. They really glow in the sun here when you see a good one. So I was hunting right along here and found it, and then all of a sudden Cody's right in front of me. Coincidence? I don't know. Well, we're back. We got lots of agates. This is an awesome beach for agates. I found 21. How many did you say you got?
I think I counted 11 here.
Okay. What do you have?
I think I have about like 13, 10 or 13.
Oh, you gotta try to make a number higher than mine, huh?
I obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go. There's all of them. I said lots of them, but not necessarily the real big ones. You win for the biggest ones, Cody.
Of course, most of my nicest ones weren't agates at all, and he said only pull the agates out for this. So I feel this is a very unfair video.
I did say that. I'm sorry. All right, we'll see you next time.